just really unhappy. I can't be here anymore.
We some big old geeks. We some big old geeks, about to tear this place up. You Vander Walls, I'm ionic. Scientists twerking iconic. I'm doing both, I'm bionic. Nuck if you buck periodically. Acting like an enzyme and we cutting it up. Proteins in the gel and we running them up. By the end of this month, I need to figure that situation out. I need to secure my happiness because it's really taking a toll on me. I am very unhappy and I just have so much to offer, and at this job my potential is really not being recognized, and it hurts. Lights off, wipe it down, Clorox, wipe it down, lights off, wipe it down, Clorox, wipe it down, wash your body, wash your hair, and wash your hands too. Get some soap, scrub it down, and show me how you do it. What kind of box do you live in? I'm not talking about an actual box, like a shoe box or a cardboard box. I mean, when I say things like get out of the box or think outside of the box, what does that mean for you? For me, growing up, I wasn't even aware that boxes existed. All I knew was that I loved science. And I pursued science probably at the expense of the irritation of my mother. I would go around the house mixing things that did not belong together, like baby powder with nail polish, with sugar, just to see what would happen. And I loved science so much that I wanted that to be my job title. And I made it so. I actually graduated with a master's degree on a Saturday and started my career that very same Monday as a corporate cancer researcher. And I was going to do science. That was going to be my job title. I was going to get paid to do what I love to do most. And I wore that with a badge of honor. I was so proud. This is a thermocycler. This is what you use to run PCR. You put your plates in here. PCR is polymerase chain reaction. It is something that we do to multiply copies of DNA. This is a centrifuge. Basically, you can spin things around really fast and it separates by gravity. So let's say you've got a mixture of things in one tube. You want to separate them out. Heaviest things will flow to the bottom of the tube and the lighter things will stay at the top. Usually this is good for cell culture. When you're culturing cells in the lab, you don't want to shock them with some cold refrigerator temperature solution. You want to bathe them in a nice bougie cell culture media. So you put your culture media in here, warm it up, get it nice and warm. You want to give them penthouse treatment. This is a shaking incubator. This is like a penthouse for bacteria. Like usually people use these things when they want to grow bacteria. It stays heated and also it shakes really fast. And what that does is it generates oxygen for the organisms that are in here. Not only was I just doing the science, but I was doing it alone, where other scientists were running their experiments in the lab, having chit-chat, talking to each other, getting to know their values, beliefs, what they do outside of work, sometimes making plans with each other outside of work, developing friendships and bonds. I was never a part of that. I was being left out, and I was alone. And I also noticed that I was the only person who looked like me there. But nevertheless, I continued to do the science. After all, I love science. But over time, it was wearing down on me. Eventually, the lab did hire somebody who did look like me. They weren't a scientist. They were a janitor, but still, I was happy that they were there. And that day, I'll never forget, because my coworker turned to me and said, you should be happy that you're not the token black anymore. And that crushed my spirit. I couldn't believe that she said that to me. Black people make up 12% of the United States of America. But in the United States of America, Black people don't make up 12% of science and engineering jobs. They only make up 6%. Okay? And that's a problem. These numbers should be matching and they don't. And what that means is there's a problem. There's a disconnect that we need to understand what's happening. Why are we only getting half of the Black people that we should be getting? What's going on there?
Everyone, here we got our, today we got our salary statements for 2017. Everyone else got a raise except for me. The site director said it. He didn't even close the door. He just told me that I wasn't getting a raise, and I'm just really unhappy. I can't be here anymore. They don't recognize. I'm just really trying. I can't hold it together here anymore. It's been really tough for me. Being the only Black woman here, being not prepared for the job, not being trained. I just tried so hard. I felt like there was tissue all over my face. I'm embarrassed because he didn't even close the door to tell me this. And, you know, he tried to whisper it to me. The least he could have done was close the door to tell me that I wasn't getting a raise. That's not professional. You're not supposed to do that. I need to be somewhere where I can excel, where people can recognize my talent.
But I went back to my desk. I cried silently, wiping the tears from my face, in pain. And I had experienced that pain for the months to come. There would be other occasions where I would be treated differently than everyone else, and it would hurt me. And I had to make the decision to leave. And I'm really fortunate to have multiple interests in that not only do I enjoy doing the science, but I love teaching the science. What I noticed when I was working as a corporate scientist, when I would tell people what I would do, like, okay, yeah, I'm a molecular biologist and I work in a corporate laboratory and I do drug discovery research. And they would say, wow, we need more Black women in science. Thank you. Yes. What they really meant was, we want to see more Black women in science. We want to see them. But we're not visible because y'all don't see us. We don't put ourselves out there. We're in the lab, we do our work, and then we go home. And I felt like it was really important for me to have a platform where I can show people, boom, here, not only here I am, but here's other women as well, and other people of color, Black women in STEM. And we also know from research that the media does impact our real life perceptions of the world around us. So with that in mind, I set out on a journey to redefine the image of a scientist and diversify that image. And that is how Big Ol' Geeks was born. Track and field discus. Cut it, run it, cut it. We some big ol' geeks. We some big ol' geeks, about to tear this place up. You Vander Walls, I'm ionic. Scientist twerking iconic. I'm doing both, I'm bionic. Nuck if you buck periodically. Acting like an enzyme and we cutting it up. Proteins in the gel and we running them up. See, I'm a chocolate girl, skin Reese's Pieces. I run this thing like electrophoresis. Believe it or not, making that was hard for me. Even though I wanted to represent myself authentically, this was one of the first times that I had let go and said, you know what? I don't care what anyone thinks I should be doing, how I should walk, how I should talk, how I should talk about science and do my science. I'm just going to do it. And that was hard. It was uncomfortable, but I knew it needed to be done. And I knew that other people needed to see that. So I want to ask you all, what kind of boxes do you live in? What kind of boxes are you perpetuating with your thoughts, with your actions, the way you walk, talk, dress, the way you speak? Is it really who you are? Is it what you think other people want you to be? Are you being your unapologetic self? Maybe you don't do what I do. I'm not asking you to make a rap music video professing to the world that you love science, but maybe it's a little thing every day. Maybe it's speaking up for yourself in a time where in the past maybe you wouldn't have because you were afraid that someone would perceive you as a stereotype or as something that wasn't you. Maybe you should say that one thing that makes somebody just a little bit uncomfortable, which is the truth.
Cut it, run it, cut it.
We some big old geeks.
Cut it, run it, cut it.
We some big old geeks, about to tear this place up. You Van der Waals, I'm ionic. Scientists twerking, iconic. I'm doing both, I'm bionic. Nuck if you buck periodically. Acting like an enzyme and we cutting it up. Proteins in the gel and we running them up. It ain't safe. Put the mask on your face. Put the gloves on your hand. Wrap the coat around your waist. Wipe it down. Get these germs out my face. Big old geek in this house and we running through this place. I ain't no regular man. I'm really molecular. Gotta see the big picture. I'm a significant figure. Get more degrees, hey, get bigger. Gel 10%, but I'm thicker. Doctor not Mrs. and Mr. and we ain't no hidden figures. Go ahead and get you a girl who can do both. Tell me, what scientist you know popping like this though? She talk about Rubisco while cooking the Crisco. Come on. She fine, lots of fun, and she smart like Urkel. Just throw it in a circle. Cut it, run it, cut it. We some big old geeks.
Cut it, run it, cut it.
We some big old geeks, about to tear this place up. You Van der Waals, I'm ionic. Scientists twerking, iconic. I'm doing both, I'm bionic. Nuck if you buck periodically. Acting like an enzyme and we cutting it up. Proteins in the gel and we running them up. I know I'm that chick, I don't do the politics. Keep my head up, keep the bread up, don't get fed up. That's a trick, you Van der Waals, I'm ionic. I snatch a wig electronic, my flow is sick as bubonic. You might need antibiotics. Scientists twerking, iconic. I make them sync with harmonic. Making it move, no robotics. Scientists hit you with logic. Can't fit my lab coat, I got thick. Like everything, like we got thick. Never let them see me sweat. They be coming with the threats. Just don't make me take the lab coat off and hang up the pipette. They need to get on my level. They need to check that meniscus. I am throwing these bars around like a track and field discus.
Cut it, run it, cut it.
We some big old geeks.
Cut it, run it, cut it.
We some big old geeks, about to tear this place up. You Van der Waals, I'm ionic. Scientists twerking, iconic. I'm doing both, I'm bionic. Nuck if you buck periodically. Acting like an enzyme and we cutting it up. Proteins in the gel and we running them up. See, I'm a chocolate girl, skin Reese's Pieces. I run this thing like electrophoresis. You mess with me, your knowledge increases. I'm legit, look me up, read my thesis. I'm repping for the nerdy girls who's working hard and serving. Your hips and thighs is cool, but it ain't what makes you worth it. What's between your ears and behind your eyes is what's the most important. I'm repping for the nerdy girls who's working hard and serving.